Hello guys, welcome back to another YouTube video with Tank Reaper today on World of Warships console. That's right, boys and girls. And what we're doing today, well, we're doing another ship review on the American Tier 2 premium cruiser, the Charleston. And if you could say she looks a little bit like the St. Louis, well, you're right. She's just a different version of the St. Louis, just not too much more differences. As you can see, probably from the last St. Louis, but don't worry, we'll cover the St. Louis with its own separate video, because she does deserve it, and she's a pretty tough ship at this tier, at tier 2. Yeah, she's a pretty tough ship for being a tier 2 ship. But upgrades, due because this is a premium ship, she really don't get no upgrades, except these. These basically help boost her stuff. This is a modification. What I put on her is a steering gear mod 1. It helps her steering gear improvement chance by 20% and steering gear repair time 20%. Now, I mean, you could go for the risk of engine becoming incapacitated. I'm sorry for that, guys. So use the permission mod 1 in the engine repair time 20%. I just go for the steering. Even though this probably would be kind of more helpful for the more lightly armored cruisers at tier 2, but she's not that lightly armored unless if you're bottom tiered and you're facing against battleships, then maybe that would be better. But yeah, she's a very slow cruiser. She does get HE and AP, a damage control part, which every ship gets that. The survivability, she gets around 3,220 hit points. Her main battery, she gets 152mm Mark 6, 14 guns of those, 14 of them. Firing range is 10.1 kilometers, reload time is 9 seconds, and the turning time is 22.5 seconds. The max HE shell damage is 2,100. The fire setting chance is 9%. The max AP shell damage is 3,000. She also has secondaries, 7.2mm Mark 4A guns. She has 18 of those. Firing range is 2.5 kilometers. Reload time is 5 seconds. Max HE shell damage is 1,100. Firing setting chance is 6%. So they only fire HE. So that's basically it. And when you're bottom tier, you are going to see some aircraft carriers in the battle. So do take that remind of the 7.6mm Hawks Mark 1 anti-air guns. She gets 8 of them. Average damage per second is 10. Firing range is 1 kilometer. Max speed of the ship is 22.7 knots. The turning circle radius is 450 meters. And the rudder shift time is 8.1 seconds. The concealment, sorry for that, guys. The detectability range by sea is 8.7. Detection or disability after firing your main battery guns is 10.1 seconds. Kilometers, not seconds. I'm sorry for that, guys. The detectability when the ship is on fire is 10.7 kilometers. The detectability range by air is 5.4. Detectability after firing your main guns shells are 8.5. Your detectability when the ship is on fire is 8.4, which means if your ship's on fire, they will see you at 8.4 kilometers. Your granted detectability range is 2 kilometers, and while firing in smoke is 4. Now, this isn't a destroyer. This is actually more of a cruiser, so it doesn't get the destroyer abilities of firing through smoke. The armor of the ship. The bottom of the hull is around 10. Fore-end plating is around 6. The fore-end deck is 6. The bottom is 10. The aft-end plating is 6 to 13. And the aft-end deck is 6. The cooling tower bottom is 38. The cooling tower sides are 38 as well. The cooling tower top is 38. The side plating is 6. The top side plating is also 6. The aftboard ship is 6. The armor belt is 13 to 100, which is pretty good. Right there. It's kind of protecting these 4 guns. The deck plane is 13. Oh, no. We're at the deck plane. Outboard ship is also 6. The gun side plates are around 6 to 19 meters thick, which is, I'm thinking that they're talking about like the frontal, the nose of the ship and the aft end of the ship's guns. The Citadel outboard ship is 51. The Citadel bottom is 13. The Citadel deck is 51. The Citadel outboard ship is 51. The Citadel armor decking sloped is 76. And the Citadel plates is around 13. So, like I said, a pretty tough ship down here at the steer. Oh, and let's cover the captain I have for the ship. I have Burn It Down XXL, which a chance of firing being caused by HE shells. The max cruiser speed, which is full speed ahead. It reduces the max speed of your cruiser speed, which the ship you're going to need that for. The Sponge, which increases the damage you could take, and also Auto Chamber, and also his legendary skill is by the book. But I think that's going to be it for this review in the report, guys. And I'll see you guys on the battlefield. See you there. So on our first game, guys, we're on Big Race. Big Race, huh? That's pretty much a name. Or Rage? Race. Yeah, Big Race. That's some kind of name. But we are bottom tiered in this game, so yeah, we are with battleships and aircraft carriers, which, yeah, aircraft carriers. On PC, I know those things are, well, supposed to be invincible, but I'm not too sure on console. I don't know. It could be, possibly aircraft carriers could be just a little bit less overpowered on console than they are on the PC. But I don't know. Maybe you guys might think that once we start doing some aircraft carrier reviews, which I do have an aircraft carrier to do, but that's more in the future. More in the future indeed. You're probably wondering why I'm going up the middle. Well, I was going to turn, but I was doing something on my phone at the time too, so I guess you could say I didn't get to turn in time, and this thing's turning circle radius is huge. Pretty freaking big. So every time I could turn, I'd probably be running into the island and beaching myself. But we do see our first enemies over there. At first, I thought they were out of my aim. I seen the destroyer. I was looking at that battleship. I was looking at this Phoenix. So I fired my first 3 shots. The Phoenix, hoping those shots would hit, and nothing hits. But I am getting returned fire, so I want to turn. The Phoenix is going pretty slow. I think I hit once. I shot my second salvo. Only hit with 1 shot. Torpedoes are coming inbound. Oh, torpedoes. Dear God. So I fired my first salvo. My second salvo? Yeah. Only 1 shot hit, but those torpedoes ran out of steam. I'm being stopped getting hit, but I switched to armor piercing. Because if you see that Phoenix, he is sideways on, and I get a Citadel from him. Which is excellent, because armor piercing on the side of a cruiser will get a Citadel hit. So I fire another salvo with more guns this time, hoping at least some shots could hit. Only one that actually penetrated. So no more salvos from that guy. So I was looking at that battleship. I wasn't really paying attention on this side. I realized there was a cruiser, Japanese cruiser, with a British destroyer coming in. Well, I actually got a Citadel from the front of that Japanese cruiser. And I keep armor piercing loaded. He does get loaded so low hit points, which I got the kill because I fired armor piercing in his front. So I reloaded HE for this destroyer because I wanted to take care of the Cromatown, British Tier 2 premium destroyer. Or is that the American? No, I think that's the British. But I did get 5 shots onto him with HE. And I see these torpedoes coming for me. I'm getting hit from over there. and that destroyer got taken out. And I see this Frenchy destroyer. Yes, that is a French destroyer, which has no smoke generation, but we'll cover that in a future video. Those 2 shots, or 1 shot actually, missed, so I was trying to get a little bit more shots onto him. He does dodges all of those torpedoes. I did hit him, got 3 shots onto him, and I fired my last 2 shots, which I got the kill. I actually knocked out his engine. Surprisingly, I knocked his engine out. And I was thinking, do I have the range to hit those 2 ships right there, those 2 battleships? No, I don't have the range to actually hit them. So I'm going up through this middle right here. I am spotted, but that's by aircraft. So, yeah. Aircraft carrier does get spotted right here. This is when I rise, he's spotted, but he's way out of range for my gun. So I was like, okay, never mind. I'm not shooting at him. I'm trying to see if I have the range for this battleships over there, but still just don't have the range. But this ship is tough, as you've seen. You haven't seen half of it. My teammates is pointing on the sector. I thought there would be a ship coming from that side, but the only 3 ships that's left is the carrier and 2 battleships. So I was thinking, you know what, let's go for the carrier. Usually the carrier is not this less defended. And I see this battleship, the Kaiser. I fire my servo, and my first servo at him. Does this hit? Let's see. Yes, only 1 hit still. So I pointed or aimed a little bit more forward of him, hoping this shot will hit. He is firing at me. I did get hit by 1 of his shots and got hit by a torpedo. Like, where did that torpedo came? And I realized I forgot the carrier was right there. So I aimed my shots and getting shot from the battleship, so I wanted to turn this way so it makes it easy, well, harder for the battleship to hit me. So I fired my first HE shells at the carrier. He does launch torpedoes at me. He's been trying to hunt me this whole time. Though I did fire on him, but I used his damage control party. I fired my second servo on him with HE. And what I want to do is try to get to his sides a little bit. I did hit him with 5 shots. So that way I could actually start using armor piercing. He launches 2 more torpedoes at me. I didn't get to see these ones. It caused a flood, so I put that out. One of my teammates is shooting him too, but I fired 3 shots at him this time because I was turning inwards. So that's a German carrier. So I decided to switch to armor piercing now. Watch this. 1 citadel, but keep on watching, guys. It's not going to end until this freaking carrier dies. I get 4 citadels out of that hit. I was like just so surprised that this was going pretty well, but his aircraft got another 2 more citadels and killed him at the same time. And there he is. He's dead, but because he still has aircraft in the sky, yeah. I was trying to cap. Well, I'm trying to turn so none of these torpedoes hits me, which they don't, which is really good. Those ships are just way out of my range, those last 2 enemy battleships. But what I should be more worried about and should have been more focused on was the aircraft carriers, planes. They were still much a threat. Because this is a German carrier, and it does have its torpedo bombers still in the sky. He launches another 2 torpedoes at me, hits me, and actually damages me with 1 torpedo. Now, my anti-aircraft guns aren't the best, to be completely honest. So, and this is an aircraft carrier, so the aircraft is like they're very strong. You could say, wargaming. What do you guys say? I'm trying to keep an eye out, but sadly, I do get hit with the last 2 torpedoes of his and took it out. But to be completely honest, I should have at least kept a more eye out for those aircraft than what I did. But it was such a good game. 9 Citadel hits, with 3 kills. It was such a decently good game for me, and I gotta say, I was watching my team, hoping that they can get at least a victory. If not, well, at least it proves that this ship is pretty tough at tier 2. I mean, if it's not against carriers, then yes, it is. But with carriers, it's very, very hard to go undetected, and, well, yeah. But you've seen there with your your eyes on what the ship could do with its armor piercing against a carrier. Sideways on, carriers don't stand a chance. But most ships wouldn't stand a chance when you're giving your broadside right to an enemy ship when they're firing AP. That's one thing I would recommend doing, not doing is giving your broadside over to the enemy ship, especially if you're a cruiser. This means more so for cruisers, but it also means a little bit for the battleships and the carriers. When that ship is firing AP at you, you are going to get citadeled, and that is something pretty much will happen a lot if you're playing in a cruiser. So I would recommend you guys not to give up your sides. But we did lose our only battleship. Well, actually not battleship. We are about to lose our only destroyer against the Kaiser, but without him putting some more torpedoes in the water. Sadly, he does put a little more. I don't know why he's firing his main guns. He could actually break off and go undetected. You can see the carriers scrumming his dive torpedo bombers. His torpedo bombers, not dive bombers. And stuff. You can see that. You can see that destroyer launches a few more torpedoes at that battleship. It looks like one hit right there, another one hits, which is good. At least that's what I'm thinking it was. That carrier launches another torpedo, but that one misses. He actually can see the battleship. He does kill our cruiser. And I was paying attention to something else at the time, so I didn't get to see what happened to the carrier. So actually, now I get to see. But it looks like he's still firing at the carrier, and it looks like he's going to get to win the Kaiser. There's one carrier, but the carrier is not giving up without a fight. He does send in more torpedo bombers, but he does die before those torpedo bombers could do any effect towards that battleship. But that was the end of the battle, guys. And I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please leave a like, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.